Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Velvet DeVille, and today we're going to be talking about script reading. Now, a lot of people have a lot of different opinions about script reading, and I would like to talk about these because there is something that is happening within the wider voice acting community that I've noticed, and I would like to nip this in the bud before it begins because I feel like there's a lot of new voice actors and voice acts in general who show up and they'll grab a role and they'll immediately think that, oh, well, I can't play this role because I am not this kind of person. Everyone is every kind of person if you're a voice actor. And the reason that this matters is because there are some people within that community who believe anyone that takes said roles automatically is that kind of person. So, let's be very clear here for all of you watching. This is not true. Just because someone plays a villain doesn't make them a villain. Just because someone plays a hero most certainly does not make them a hero. If you want to say, and we know this for a fact because William Dafoe regularly plays the most heinous villains of all time. He's been the Green Goblin, he's been so many other roles, and he is regularly seen as like this perfect villain character because he's got it down. But he actively is like one of the most like heavy philanthropist people in the world. He goes out and he helps people. He's a great individual. He actively is a humanitarian. He cares about people. He's not a villain in real life. And the same can be said in reverse of hero characters, because if we're going to talk about hero characters, we can talk about Fat Albert. Now, Fat Albert was a character created to be a representation of a very specific man when he was younger. That, and Fat Albert in particular, is supposed to be this hero character. He is this like jovial character who hangs around his friends. Well, Fat Albert was, I believe, originally played by and is supposed to be a representation of Bill Cosby. So, if we're going to accurately talk about what is and is not correct in terms of voice acting, and we're going to talk about people reading scripts, you have to separate out the script from the person. The person is not the script. Just because they're reading the script doesn't make them automatically a bad person. That's not how this works. And to think that an actor, someone who is paid to act, which means pretend, it means to fake it. Like, I'm certain that there are those of you who've been inside of, relationships with someone who's not exactly laying the pipe correct, and you've had to fake it in some form or another. Or you end up with someone who you don't particularly enjoy what's going on inside of the bedroom. Like, if you don't prefer how they're moving, or they're doing something weird with their body while you're doing things. You've had to fake it. Well, or at least you've had to be potentially been like, well, this isn't great, but I'm going to power through it. And that is what acting is. That is what acting is. It is pretending. It is faking. It's not real. The people that you talk with who are actors don't necessarily know the things that they know. Hugh Laurie regularly, Dr. House from the House MD series, is not a trained professional doctor. He is an actor. And the script writers aren't even like, from what I understand, some of the script writers actively were like to some degree trained inside of medical professionalism and all of that kind of stuff. But for the most part, even the writers don't know all that much about certain things in regards to that show. But there are still people to this day who walk up to Hugh Laurie, the actor who is not a doctor, does not have a doctorate, does not know any of it, and basically forgot everything he fucking learned there. In that he learned was a thing inside of his scripts He does not know how to save your life. He's not a doctor. He cannot help you, but there are still people to this day who believe he can and will go up to him. And one of them I know of for a fact because a comedian spoke about this. They have a friend who is a doctor, and they can't separate the actor from the act. And he and she specifically went up to Hugh Laurie because they had the opportunity and started speaking about like doctoral things with Hugh Laurie, the actor who is not a doctor. So I would like to remind everyone in the voice acting community that also applies for us. Just because we play villain characters doesn't make us villains. Just because we play hero characters doesn't make us heroes. And just because someone creates a script doesn't make them a bad person. When it comes to writing scripts, there is a lot of emotional introspection and self-reflection and a lot of other things sometimes. And sometimes it's only mild. And sometimes those same things get exaggerated wildly because it's a script. It's not real. It's fake. And to suggest that someone who writes a script is actively one thing or another, and you're going to hold a script that they've written against them, you are just the same kind of person as the person who walks up to Hugh Laurie and thinks that they're a doctor. And that is a problem, and you should be seeking therapy for it. Because that's not how that works. That's not how any of this works. In any case, thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I love you all very, very much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Remember, treat each other with kindness, civility, and give people the space to explain.